I'm Larry. I'm the guitar player, singer for the Merinuks from Hamilton, Ontario, originally from Welland and Wainfleet. And that's about it. We're still jamming with the Garburators and the Merinuks and whenever the future holds. Biggest influence, I don't know, as a kid, I remember Mom had some triple LP at the Hop. It was just like all the 50s stuff and 60s doo-wop, etc. And just from there, just, I don't know, listen to the radio, FM radio and shit like that. My dad had a bunch of country and western 8 tracks everywhere, and from there, then I think around late 70s, my cousin and I in Welland, we used to go to 7 Record Man and collect all the top 1050 Chum records. So we'd go there and buy all the 7-inches where we're in the top 20 or top 10 or whatever, whenever something came out. So we had like Gary Newman, Biba Gabor, Teenage Head, Let's Shake, all that shit. So that's how it all started. What got me into punk? I don't know. I think around, like I said before, just buying records, and I think Teenage Head 7-inch and Let's Shake was 79 or so, 80 around there. Then I went and bought the end of the century Ramones at the record store because they look cool. These guys in leather jackets and stuff. Then I think after that I bought Road to Ruin and Sex Pistols and the Clash first album it came with. I remember because it came with a 7-inch inside the record for the Clash, and it was like the whites or remote controller. So I don't know, I can't remember. Too old now, but it was kind of cool from there, and just whatever came out of the records looking something cool, just chance. And then I think in mid 80s I started going to Pop Tones in Niagara Falls. It was a record store, and Frank the owner, you go in there for hours and just hang out, and he'd play records for you. And it'd be like, I got into GGL and the Cedar Street Sluts way back. The Godfathers from the UK, they were punk, but their attitude was, and Papa Lee's Self and whatever came out from the UK, because he would have all these British imports and just play them for you. It was just awesome. Anything punk basically, so, or pop punk or whatever, right? So that was how I got into it. Okay, first concert was Welland Arena back in like '79. I'm pretty sure it was Biba Gabor. It was awesome, I think, and that. Who I think he opened up for another band was called The Government from Toronto. Don't remember anything about it. I just remember it was cool because I had the record and I get to see him live. And then I think around the first punk show was around '83. Dates are everywhere, but I think I see the Forgotten Rebels at some small little Italian hall in Welland. And I think the next year after that I went to see The Exploited in Rochester, middle of a snowstorm. Then I think that I did actually see those Problem Children. It was '86 or it could have been '86. I don't remember the exact date, but we snuck into when the Jerry's Alley there in St. Catharines, and Problem Children were playing with some rockabilly band. I think they called it Teddy Boys or something from Toronto or something like that. Opened up, and that was a kind of cool show, and everybody was just wasted. I think that was '86. I don't know. Jamie would know that. But then after that, I think I seen Mojo Nixon around that same time, Dead Milkman, Ramones. Not much local stuff. There wasn't much local stuff in Welland to happen, so I didn't really get driving until later. So in Toronto, I just think that was it. Yeah, okay. Okay, favorite shows. Name numerous shows, like way back in like '86. See Mojo Nixon, that was awesome. Getting to meet him, hang out after show and stuff like that. And I think the Dead Milkman opened that show too, or it was a different show. Ramones seen numerous times over the years. Seen with Dee a few times. I don't know, Slow's Distortion, Peg Boy, back in Continental days, Goo Goo Dolls in the early days, like '91, '92, when they were sloppy drunk motherfuckers. Some weird stuff. I don't know, there's not one specific show, but like recently maybe, Andrew WK, when he played Hamilton here at the not the Casbah, one of the other bars. He played with an iPod and a keyboard player, or about a guitar player, keyboard player with him, and just rocked out to this college crowd. It was just freaking awesome. Place was like they were surfing. He was jumping on people. It was like awesome. Just with an iPod, it was amazing. And the Hanson brothers played too there few months later. They were playing a court. They were going to Toronto for a court date or something like that, and they played a one-off show in Hamilton here, and it was just like maybe 20 people there. And it was freaking. They played for like an hour or so. It was just awesome. I don't know. The Dee Dee Ramone show with Chinese Dragons way back in '92. That was kind of amazing, considering he left and really never played shows locally. That was in Buffalo. I don't know. That's about it for punk. Craziest show first would be probably the Butthole Surfers back in like '87 or so, and it was a Leary, the guitar player, was just playing. He had these green spandex on. It was just memorable because it was so fucked up, and every time he was playing, he kept kicking his leg up real high, real high. Then somewhere along the line, he ripped his pants from the front to the bottom, and his junk was hanging out the whole show. He never stopped. He kept kicking. The whole show just kept playing, never stopped. It was just that was kind of cool. And who else was it? I think was it Chris Shepard was there on the DJing, and he was on acid, just climbing over everybody because he was on acid so much. He kept telling everybody on stage he was on acid. He was like tripping. The craziest show was probably the Jesus and Mary chain around that same time, where they played. What was it? Place by the waterfront. OPM or OPM.
RPM.
RPM. That's it. RPM. Yeah, and they were playing, and probably 10 minutes in the show, the singer grabs a microphone stand, just starts swinging it around people in front of the stage. Then he grabbed a beer bottle, smashed it on the monitor, started jabbing it towards the people. I don't know if he hit anybody. And then finally he grabs his microphone stand and smacks a guy right in the freaking top of the head. Knocked him cold, and right from there, I think a few minutes later the show ended, and supposedly they got arrested right after that show for the assault, and they never played Toronto again for like 20 some odd years later because they were never allowed back into Canada for that incident. But that was crazy because I was standing right there behind the guys that were getting hit. So that was pretty crazy. Oh yeah, that's probably the weirdest stuff. Okay, bands I was in, blah blah blah. I think when I moved to Hamilton, '89, I think it was, from Welland, and just in Welland we had like jam band stuff like that in the basement and stuff. Never played, and then here I was jamming with a few guys just in the basement. I think with Vic and some other guys from Columbia Necktie. He was a bunch of bands in the '80s punk stuff, and then I think around '91, started Absent Minded Professors with JC and this bass player guy never played bass in his life. JC, I think we lasted from '91, '92. We recorded some demos at a couple studios on King Street there. Some guy later died. Forget his name, an older guy, beard. Yeah, and then JC left and went on to form a Columbia Necktie with some other guys you probably know. But then around then it was like '93, I think. Tony and Mark from just Stony Creek guys, a bunch of Italian guys, started. They were jamming or something. Then we got together. I don't think we recorded anything with them, and then I think the only show we played, or a couple shows we played, was one with UK Subs at Punk Fest. That was '93. I found out. I didn't know when it was, and we played after them like 2:00 in the morning or something like that. Everybody was pissed drunk. I remember Charlie Harper like passed out on the side or something in a chair as we played. Then Mark and Tony, they went on to Band Castaways with Ian from the Wet Spots, and for a while with Razor Eater, I think they played on the 7-inch they did. And then after that, I changed it. I don't know, I was just bored of the name, so then I went to the Retards, and then just did a solo, I guess you call it a solo record with just this. Some guy had this thing called a computer back in '93, '94. Just in a drum machine. It was like, it was all triggered and stuff. So I was like, you can record on the computer. So I did a bunch of songs that never released or anything like that. And then so I need a band. So then I got looking for people, and Candy from, she was in like some other just rock bands, and she had a studio somewhere on King Street there upstairs from where people were murdered. And then we found another guy, John and Matt, probably 2 years together, maybe a year and a half. Like you said, dates. And they left, and they went on to form the Goalies, I think it was called, for a while. Ken and I stuck together. We got, I think, what was his name? Another guy from Reece, B.A. Scott. Now he's like a blues guitar player. Fuck, what's his name? I don't know. I can't remember. And then this bass player who just liked to sit on the couch. I think his name was Mark, and all he did was sit on the couch. He played bass. We recorded a full album. Never put it out. Mickey helped produce it or something, I guess you call it, at some King's place on upstairs in King William. From there, they went back to the bands, and then I think around that time, we sort of broke up the Retards name. It was just there's another band from the U.S. called the Retards, blah blah blah, and then we started Spoiled Rotten with I think Jimmy Vapid was on guitar, Brian Bryce, who went on to Wyatt Starr, was on guitar as well, or bass, I can't remember. Went to, and then Candy, so we recorded a full album, never released it. Just a cassette, I guess it would be, no putting albums out then. Jim went back to the Vapids, it was just temporary, it wasn't even leaving. Then J&J from the band called Tarbelly joined for a while, and we did a bunch of demos from just off the floor. That was just nothing. I don't even know if we played a show from that. Like I was saying, after somebody had to go take a piss, that the J&J left. They went back to, I think they did Tarbelly again or some. Then Spoiled Rotten carried. This was like '97, I think. Then JT from the Vapids left that band to the Vapids at that point. And we asked him to join Spoiled Rotten, so it was Candy, myself, and Jay, and that was probably 97, 98 or something like that. And then we recorded an album 99 on CD. And we put it out, but I don't think we did a couple shows, release started, blah blah blah. Then Jace, we did a whole shitload of shows and stuff like that, Jay and stuff. Then Candy left, if 92, 93. Then we got another drummer, Pete, and he stayed with Jay and I for like 8 years, something like that. Recorded 2 albums with him. One never got put out. And then Jay Prentice joined maybe 2010 or something. I don't know. Dates are no clue, dude. And we were together 5, 6, 7 years, maybe 8 years, I don't know. And we did a bunch of demos, recorded something at CIUT there. Never put it out. So everything's sitting in a freaking shelf here somewhere. Oh, here's the Gangrene, I forgot. Okay. I found the Gangrene album. And then I think Spoiled Rotten. I said that's it. Then it started looking thing. We started the Garburators with some Don and Greg from. I think Prentice still said drums, and Don and Greg were from they worked for kids TV network in Toronto and looking for ads. They found them. We started playing that together, just a cover band, something useless to do, and fun. We started the Garburator Kids with our kids and did a bunch of shows with that, and then got back together with Jay Hickey from Tarbelly again in Spoiled Rotten, and we started a band with Dan from Reece for the drummer, and called the 413s with some, I forget his name on bass now, and we did a couple shows on the 13s, and then we changed our name to the Mindcrawlers. That's it. I had to go to the poster. And we played a few shows at. I don't think we recorded some stuff, but we never put it out. It was never finished. Then that broke up, and then I started. I think around that time, my mom's just died, and then I just did the Krumones thing, which is a bunch of musicians, and Ian from the Let's Bots, and etc. Gene started playing drums too for us for a bit on that. I don't know if I think he played live with us for one show with Krumones. And then we had various members throughout the years for that, and then just wherever we would do some point, we'll play that. And then I started the Merinuks about 3 years ago. So we recorded a bunch of stuff for that, and a few shows here and there, and that's where we are today. Okay, what do I like about playing in the band the most? I don't know, just all the morons you meet and the people you meet over the years, and what I dislike is probably the same. There's so many characters out there, and it's nothing I like doing. I just like playing. Favorite food, sushi. Okay. Useless talent. My music knowledge, just useless music facts. My wife hates it. Why? I know more about music than I know about anything in the real world. So, but it's got me through the years. So, just stupid music facts. That's all.